Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at what the Montreal Canadiens defense should look like heading into next season. But before we do that, I've added a new subscribe button to the bottom of my channel. So if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and continue to grow this channel with me as we continue to look at all the Habs news before heading into next season. Now, the Montreal Canadiens went out and added two defensemen this offseason. David Savard should play in the top four for the Habs this season, although I did say earlier in a prior video that I really think he would be a good mentor for Alexander Romanov on that third pairing right now, but I think we could see that later in the year or as soon as next season because Savard did sign a 4-year contract with the Habs, so he's not going to be here for just a short period of time. They also signed Chris Weidman, who should be on the outside looking in heading into next season, but it never hurts to have too many depth defensemen, so Chris Weidman should be an interesting player, much like Eric Gustafsson brought to the table after the Montreal Canadiens acquired him at the trade deadline from the Flyers this season. Now, after you look at the top four for this Montreal Canadiens defense, that's where things start to get interesting. Of course, you have Jeff Petrie and Joel Edmondson, who should once again be a pairing heading into next season, and I would actually expect them to be the top pairing and get a lot of the minutes, but the bench drop pairing should still get the shutdown minutes for the Montreal Canadiens, and all likelihood says they will pair him with David Savard, but there is still room for that to be changed depending on how things go in training camp. Now, the issue with that top four is there's only one real puck mover, and that's Jeff Petrie, who was phenomenal once again last season for the most part. But the thing the Montreal Canadiens need right now is that puck-moving defenseman in their top four, so they're going to need Alexander Romanov to make that jump, whether it's this season or the next season after that. Romanov needs to continue to develop. I think he went through a lot in this postseason, growing as a player and as a person. But we know what this Montreal Canadiens team needs on the back end right now, and that's a puck mover that can skate, and Romanov can certainly do that. But we'll see if Ducharme will give him that reliability heading into next season. Looking at the bottom pairing right now, Romanov should be sliding in right there as of this moment, but we don't really know who his partner is going to be on that bottom pair, and that's where things get interesting for this Montreal Canadiens team. Could it be Brett Kulak? It could be, but I really just don't see the Montreal Canadiens being high on Kulak. A lot of people like Kulak, myself included. I think he provides a unique element for this Montreal Canadiens defense, but there are some interesting prospects that could make the jump as soon as next season that could push for that sixth and final defense spot in the Montreal Canadiens opening lineup. Now, I'm not going to talk much about this player because he is going back for his final college season. That's Jordan Harris. He's going back to captain at Northeastern. He really wants a chance to win a national title, and I can't really blame him with that. But he could play a role like Cole Caulfield did last season for the Montreal Canadiens, where he signs after his college season and plays a role in the playoffs for the Montreal Canadiens. So he is a player to keep an eye out for, even if there is some speculation about whether or not he will sign a contract with the Montreal Canadiens. Now, the one player that is a dark horse that could make the Montreal Canadiens on defense next season is Matthias Norlander. This is the type of player that the Montreal Canadiens have been waiting for a very long time. He's smooth skating, he has a good shot, and he's a puck-moving defenseman. And the Montreal Canadiens are in dire need of that with their current outlook on defense, and he really could make this team as soon as next season in a bottom pairing role. They have the capability right now with the amount of veteran defensemen they have where they could pair a veteran defenseman with a young defenseman like Romanov and Norlander and still have the ability to control a game however they want to play it. This is the type of defenseman that the Montreal Canadiens really need in their lineup, and if he makes an impression at camp, I could really see him being that sixth defenseman for the Habs next season. Now, if he doesn't make the Montreal Canadiens, he will be going back to the Swedish Elite League, and I have no issue with that. This is a league that is very well known for developing talent, specifically on the defensive side of the ice. So I really think regardless of what happens, he's going to continue to develop this season, and that's what's most important in the long run for this Montreal Canadiens prospect. That's it for me today from Cook's Corner. As always, let me know in the comment section down below who you think is going to make the Montreal Canadiens on defense next season, and potentially what you even think the pairings will be for this Habs team. I'm Zach Cook. We'll see you later.